All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to this week's Get Some Joy Mental Health Check-In. My name is Alexander Hardy, co-founder of Get Some Joy. We're just stopping in today to do a very casual, no pressure check-in with Charmaine Baxter, a lovely community care advocate that we're going to be checking in with about how she's doing, what's bringing her joy, and some awesome projects that we're going to be collaborating with for Get Some Joy shortly. So just giving this a second to percolate. Let me invite Charmaine into the check-in. One moment, please. All right. Hope everyone is having a beautiful day today and that you're doing something that brings you joy. Welcome, Charmaine. I'm getting Charmaine into the video. Come on in. I just saw you. All right. Here we go. This works. I think we got it.
Can y'all see me?
Yay!
Oh,
Welcome.
my back is against the light. Okay, here. This is better because then I'm lit a little bit better. Okay. There we go. I'm in my kitchen, y'all. My safe space.
Good. Welcome. How you doing? How you feeling?
I'm good. Let me finish trying to set this up real quick.
Okay. All good. Mm-mm-mm.
Now it's cutting me off, but let me just put it back. There. Now y'all can see me. Everything is good.
Yay. Okay.
There we go. Am I good? Can you see me?
Yes, I can see you clearly. How you feeling? How are you
I'm
today?
feeling good. Today is self-care Sunday, so taking care of the self, cleaning the house. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Also, happy belated birthday. I know that you're celebrating a wonderful milestone this weekend. How have you been celebrating? How you feeling?
Honey, child. So I've been feeling good. Friday was my birthday on the 14th, and I received a lot of love, got birthday gifts, and I just been eating a lot, resting a lot, allowing people to love on me and loving on other people.
Right. That's right. That's right. I love that. I love that. Do you have, what are you looking forward to? What are you hoping that this new year brings? What's this new year about to give? What's the vibes?
This new year, okay, the macro vision of this year is like all those patterns that don't serve me, all those different behaviors that I was doing to get in my own way and things like that. That this is like the culmination of me breaking all of that this year. Like I can feel it
Yes.
from the work that I've done in therapy, from the way things are going, energetically. And so that's what I'm hoping and pushing forward in this year, that those cycles are broken and now like I'm thriving, going from surviving to thriving.
Yes. Yes. I appreciate that. Let us take a step back. I'm naming and claiming all of those things for you. Let's back up here and let's do a formal introduction of our good friend Charmaine. First of all, again, I'm the co-founder of Get Some Joy. I am one half, our co-founder, Anisha, is celebrating her birthday today as well, February 16th, in the house. So I'm glad that both of y'all are able to make it today to celebrate another year of life, another year of living and popping off
Hmm.
and bringing joy and magic to the community. But I know who you are, but could you please, I would allow you to introduce yourself, let folks know who you are,
Hmm.
and let's just start there.
Okay, who am I? Hi, my name is Charmaine Baxter. I go by Charm. My pronouns are she, her. I am a peer support worker by, I guess, training, but I rebranded it to peer support artist, I would
Love
say.
that.
Um, yeah. And the work that I do, especially now during these very raggedy times where we are being targeted from every single direction, right? My work is really in creating accessibility and destigmatizing the conversation around mental health when it comes to Black women and femmes, specifically. But my content and my work is for everyone. Anybody can
Yes.
benefit, but just know, first and foremost, Black women and
That's
femmes. And I'm getting more comfortable saying that.
That's right. I love that. What has been some resistance to standing in that? Like, this is who my work is for. This is what I'm doing.
To be very honest, it really comes down to like just different funding things, just like if we look at what's going on politically right
Yeah.
now and the shock that we're experiencing, with so many things that are being revoked or and this is like years of work, you know, this was part of like the fear of like claiming that I am doing work for Black
Yeah.
folks,
Yeah. Yes.
there is fear in it, but I'm choosing to be divergent. So
I
there's
love
that.
that. And we thank you for that. And we thank you for that. Can you let folks know you describe yourself as a peer support artist? And one of the things we're going to be talking about today is the importance of peer support in these raggedy times because, woo, what you like. But
Mhm.
can you let folks know what is a peer support specialist and what is it that you do in your work? What does it mean for you and how are you showing up in your community in that role?
Right. So there is the definition that NAMI and the Psychological Association and the Peer Support Coalition have. And I have not memorized it. So we're going to leave that
Yeah.
alone. And there's my definition and what I tell to my peers to make it, again, accessible. And what that is simply is that as a peer support worker, what that is that I am committed to my recovery so that I can inspire, motivate, and help other people maintain their recovery from whatever they're recovering from. And we are on equal playing fields. So I'm in there with you, and you're not alone. I just happen to maybe have different skills that you don't have, but because we are peers, I'm here to share that with you.
Mm.
So I know it's like a full concrete description, like definition. Maybe we can come up with like a more concrete one, but that's how I explain it to people. And I already forgot the second part of your question.
It's all good. I was curious how you showing up in that community, but what is it that led you to that work, to stepping into that role?
Really, for me, what led me, it's twofold. It's one, I was just lost. Honestly, like I had accumulated all this trauma, okay? And I was just trying to get through life. Going to school, trying to have a relationship, and things just weren't working out. They just like it didn't matter what I did. And I felt like just very just lost, and I knew I wanted to be a counselor or psychologist. My father had just passed away,
Mm.
and I was in between figuring out, do I want to continue my career in graphic design and my schooling in that? Or did I want to become a social worker or counselor? I went down the social work counseling path, and through that path, I found peer support. And I have my opinions and my critiques of the Psychological Association of Therapists and Psychiatrists. And I have my own trauma from them. So it was already like I was already grappling and becoming one of them. You know what I mean? And when I found peer support work and it was broken down to me, I was like, I already do that. I am the person who encourages and motivates and uses my story to to help other people get
Yeah.
through. And that's what peer support was. So I fell in love with it, I got into it, and it's just been history since then.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I just want to share, and we'll talk more about this. I also recently started the journey of working towards becoming a certified peer specialist. I love how you explain it in that you're committed to your recovery and using your skills, your experiences to help others be successful in their recovery. What attracted me to it also down the road, social work, therapy, group things, licenses, and I too found peer support.
Mm-hmm.
And what I appreciated is that, similar to my work as a mental health first aider, is that it strikes me as something that anyone can do.
Yes.
Anyone can use their experiences, their desire to help the world be less raggedy. It's important to others, important to the next person. So what I'm curious for you is, how have you been showing up in the world with your role as a peer support specialist? How have you been using it to support others? I know it's like formalizing something that you already doing, but what has that looked like for you?
I can count on you for asking those like questions that gonna make me reflect. Oh, how have I been showing up? I always, if we're being authentic and honest, I've been showing up as like a human who has trauma. Like a peer support worker is not somebody who is perfect. It's quite the contrary. It's us standing up and saying, I am imperfect AF. So I have been showing up in the world imperfectly, and I have been owning it.
Yep.
And I have been showing up in the world compassionately. And I have been showing up in the world stressed sometimes too. But I've also been able to ground myself and am becoming more authentic as I really lean in and own like my role as a peer support worker, like not just something that I do at work and then take home, but this is just like who I am. Like a peer support worker is not a job, it's who I am.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah. Mm-hmm.
I
Did I
appreciate
answer
that.
that?
No, that makes sense. That makes sense. Like, you're just showing up and doing what you do, and connect with people where you are. Can you tell us a little bit about your process of becoming a peer support worker? What was your, I guess, maybe some of the requirements, and how
Yeah.
did you find the journey of formalizing this work that you're already doing? What's the process been like in getting that role?
Good question. So I'm a peer, and if you see me over here, it's because I want to make sure that my TikTok is good because I'm trying to stream this
Okay.
so people can, tune in and stuff.
Hey, TikTok.
um, ooh, so what was I saying? Okay, so it was back in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was back in 2017. And what happens is that I was already on the path of becoming a counselor, but I was doing it through my undergrad. So I was just about to finish undergrad with graphic
Okay.
design. Since I switched to counseling, it added like 2 more years or whatever. So that's where it started. And what happened then? I'm trying to think. Oh, you have to get so many
Yep.
hours. So I was volunteering at Agora Crisis Center for the call line, which is a suicide hotline. And I was trying to and I had already, and you have to do like a 40-50 hour training for that. That is very similar to the peer support certificate here in New Mexico. And so I had already started that, and being in that world, that's
Mm-hmm.
when I heard like peer support. I'm like, peer support, and people actually get employed for this? Like, what? I just got to sit up on the phone and talk and tell you my story. We're good. Like, you know what I mean? I was
Yeah.
excited that would be my work. So that's how I found out through that. Here in New Mexico, there is a 40-hour requirement, and then you have to do the hours keep changing. They're finalizing, but I know it's anywhere between, I think, 250 and 1,000. So they're finalizing it here with the board.
Okay.
And that can be done through volunteer work, or you could also just get on the job training. So even if you are in the middle of your certification, if you get hired, you're good. They just want to make sure that you're in there, because then you can get hours through whatever job you got. And I ended up working at a call center at the peer support. So anybody who's ever used the peer support warm line in any of their states, that was me on the other end of the line.
I like that. And I know that you mentioned that as a peer support specialist, you're not showing up perfect, which I
Right.
think is a great thing to state for folks, that just like I think becoming a therapist, if there is for some an assumption that you have to be all healed up, all packaged and pretty and nice and shiny before you can do this work. How do you navigate someone who is pouring into and supporting others while also you're still a human being. Like, you got your own stuff that you're dealing with too.
Yeah.
So how do you manage showing up for others while also holding space for like your own growth and process and journey and things that you have going on too?
Could you state that question in a different way?
Yeah. How do you navigate supporting others while still supporting yourself?
Thank you. Okay. Whoo, honey child. That how do I navigate supporting other people as a peer support worker while supporting myself?
Because sometimes we might need our own peer support specialist. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say, okay, there's multiple answers to that because it's almost been a 10-year journey. In about a year, it would be 10 years that I have been a peer support worker.
Okay.
In the beginning, I did not have good boundaries. I did not know how to, they, in my training at least, they don't teach you how do you take care of yourself when you're intaking all this trauma. You have your grounding techniques with your therapist and all those different things, but in my program, they didn't teach you that. So through the 10 years of dealing with people, I've learned, and now I do have my own peer support worker. So I have my friends who I talk to about certain things, that they are designated. We have a friend agreement, so to speak, that you are my person when it comes to this emotional stuff, right? Because you got different friends for different things, right? And we don't want to overwhelm our friends, okay? Because then we don't got no friends, okay? Because they be like, whoo, you a little bit too much. And I just want to tell everybody, we are not too much, but we like just empathizing. That's how people get overwhelmed. Were you going to say something?
No, I just love that. You can't overwhelm your friends. Yeah.
Yeah, we do not. Our friends, hey, TikTok, I am on Instagram Live on Combos with Charm and GetSomeJoy, and we are talking about peer support in these raggedy times. And right now I am talking about how I support others while supporting myself. So yeah, there was like one person in there. So that's what I do now, is that like I've learned the boundaries, and I've accepted a lot of hard truths about like what it means to have friends in your life and having chosen family and all those different things.
Yeah.
So doing that inner work is the first way of taking care of myself while I'm taking care of other people, because I have to know where my limits are. I have to, if I don't know where my limits are and then I break down on the phone while somebody else is having a breakdown, now that's the blind leading the blind. Like, you get what I'm saying?
We just both struggling out here, so
we can't both be struggling. One of us gotta have it together. Come on, at a time.
Come on. Yes.
So that's what I've done now, is just like understanding that. I will say in the beginning, my truth is, and what I've seen is that sometimes peer support really does attract those highly sensitive, empathetic people that were people pleasers and that were in codependent relationships. It's the fact of the matter. And so in the very beginning, I didn't know it then, but in the beginning, I was trying to help all these people because there was this thing in my mind of like, I'm saving these people, and by saving these people, I'm saving myself.
Yes. Yes.
So I didn't know that. And so there was a lot of burnout. There was a lot of like dysregulation constantly. Like I'm not even fronting. The first year and a half was really hard, because it's just like, there's a difference when you are offering that peer support, that compassion to your friend who knows you and you know them, and they know how to act right too. So they know their limits and they're not going to put too much on you. Right. But now you're in a service position, right? And you are servicing people who have mental health conditions, right? That means there is a spectrum of mental health conditions that are calling this hotline. And these are people in need. And so they are going to take what they need. That's just what it is. And so I didn't get that. And so we also have to talk about the whole thing about like feeling valued or worthy, because now I'm fixing problems, right? And finding my worth in trying to save this other person. I was dead the first 2 years, Alex.
Baby.
I couldn't do it. It was. I had to have the breakdown to have the breakthrough. I know it's corny.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true.
It's true. So that's my truth. The first year, year and a half, almost 2 years were very hard. I learned some hard lessons, and that's why now I am more boundary than ever. I hate to say it, but there is like a little coldness to my heart, but it's by choice. Like it's not by trauma. It's more of like a
Right.
protective thing. You know what I mean? And I have my peer support worker. I got my friends. I got my journal, and I also got Dochi. Okay, so Dochi,
Yes.
that's been added to the arsenal of making sure that I take care of me
Yes,
while
yes,
I
yes,
am
of
caring
course.
for other people.
That's right. That's right. I
Yeah.
love that. So thank you for saying all of that. Like I think that whether you are in a peer support role or not, whether you're a therapist, anything that you are doing that's in a helping role, for example, as a mental health first aider,
Yeah.
and you are receiving and processing a lot of people's stuff. You have to have not only do you have to have good boundaries, but you have to have your own care team, your own care situation in place in order to support those folks. And so you talk about boundaries. Do you
Mm-hmm.
have any, are there any examples of like boundaries that work for you? You know, I have been doing these mental health first aid trainings, but like with in GetSomeJoy, we do our
Yeah.
literary therapy writing program. And I don't know when you came into some of our first workshops, but there were times when Anisha and I were doing these trainings, you know, I'm thinking of the first few in the pandemic in particular, when we started offering the literary therapy to the public, and when you talk about not having boundaries and being able to check in with yourself, they were donation based and free,
Right.
free to the
Ooh.
community. Those first workshops we had, there was one where we had like over 250 people registered, you know, for like a literary therapy workshop.
Yeah.
And it's coming in, it's donation based, they're trickling in. And at the same time, I'm in this workshop thinking, bitch, how you gonna pay your rent? You know, like
I've been there.
how are you? I'm in a workshop and I'm frantic, you know, this little 20, 25, $30 donation coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And here we are helping all these people, not knowing how I'm gonna pay my bills, can't sleep at night, up with anxiety just because I'm just like overcome with things. Pardon me.
Self-sacrifice. A self-sacrifice. Yeah.
And so like some of the things that we had to balance that was by like, okay, they all can't everything can't be free. You know, you want to
Right.
help folks, but you can't pay your bills with goodwill. And so some of those were like knowing that we had to have income producing things coming in to balance all this free, big hearted stuff that we're doing for the community. So I'm just curious if there are any boundaries or things that like you have in place, that boundaries or changes that have been particularly helpful to you as a peer supporter or as like an empathetic person. Um, you know, for me also, one boundary has been on days when I do my long 8 hour instructor trainings, I try not to do something right after that.
Yeah.
Like I try to have a break, have to have a nap. What are some boundaries that have helped you as a peer supporter, or think changes that have just been helpful for you?
Okay. Thank you for sharing. I feel that. And I've been there. Woo! I remember throwing events, and I mean, I remember this is how bad my boundaries were. That and how much I was seeking my like to validate my worth through like just giving and doing. I would throw these events, and I remember I was homeless. I didn't have no home. I was in my storage unit, right? And the storage unit was up the street from the event that I was throwing to help these folks in
Mm.
Orlando. And I made a contract with them so that they could feed the people for free, right? um that were either presenting or talking and doing stuff, and the host. I was the event coordinator. So I'm homeless, I'm getting these people food, and I ain't got no ride home. What is that, John? And everybody else happy. They just happy, they're fed,
They
they
had a
feel
great time.
safe, having a great. I don't know where I'm asleep. Okay. But there was something twisted or maybe bittersweet about like this is the, and I think a lot of people relate to this. There's something bittersweet and empowering to be able to know that like I stretched myself so much and I still got it done. You know what I mean? I still in that moment maintained my sanity. But we're doing quotes because we know that in those moments when we stress, we're not okay. Right? We just holding on.
Right.
So like, yeah, like there was something weird about like, damn, I am sacrificing myself. I am pushing myself, and And there's this twisted feeling of like, yeah, I got it and I was skinty. I was like, my body's not even meant to be skinny. Like, it's just like, I don't got the frame to be skinny. I was looking crazy. So, but again, I had to have the breakdown to have the breakthrough. Now I am I be at home by 10 p.m. Leave me alone. I be like, leave me the hell alone. I've done enough. Okay.
That's right.
Some other boundaries that I have right now is that all the work that I don't do any free labor. So, and what that means is that doesn't have to be people don't got to pay me, but I have to assess the situation and really understand, what am I getting out of this? Is this symbiotic? You know what I mean? Is this feeding me? Because if it's feeding me and my cup is full, then I can go ahead and do my job. So that's the other thing. Don't bother me after 10 p.m. Ain't no reason. You ain't my lover. You ain't the food, right? So don't bother me after 10 p.m. I don't do no work after 10 p.m. Again, the boundary of I don't do free labor. I have 2 days that are designated for me, which is Sundays and Mondays, and I choose what I do with my time on those days. I also choose and assess, like, so that I'm not stretching myself thin. Everything I do serves either 2 purposes or more. So it doesn't feel like I'm over here, I'm over there. Everything in my life that I'm doing works with one another. So there's that. There's also like, if I'm doing contracted peer support work, then I do have breaks in between. Like I negotiate and I work with people that understand I only want to do things bi-weekly, or maybe I want to have a 2-hour break in between sessions and stuff like that, because I need a certain pace. So those are like just some just basic boundaries. Every situation requires a different type of boundary and a different type of engagement. And every day I'm learning, every single day. Yeah.
Wow. No, that is so important. So important. Yeah. We are not a bottomless pit of giving, of generosity. Like, you will give yourself to, I mean, oh my gosh, I really appreciate that. Don't call me late. And I really feel this idea around the work not being free, and also the idea that like compensation could look many ways. Yeah. Bigging me up, letting people know that this great experience that we had, that is impactful. You know, the same thing with folks who we work with nonprofits and things. Everybody's budget is not budgeting. And we understand that, you know, and I know, you know, even when people say like, what if this, even just acknowledging, I asked someone recently, and it just made all the difference. Our budget is this. How can we make this happen? Even acknowledging the full value of the work, acknowledging that we are underpricing you. That is one thing. Yes, and we're negotiating XYZ rate, but you connected me to somebody who got the budget is also another way to offset, you know, when the budget ain't budgeting. Okay, your budget is here. Connect us with somebody whose budget is there, you know, and I know that is helpful. That is helpful, and I know you know somebody, and it doesn't cost you anything to say, "Hey, we doing this great thing that's going to help our community." You know who you should hire, Charmaine, to do this thing, and don't nickel and dime her for the value of her services. I mean, that is so helpful. I think, you know, even just like blasting out to your community, putting us in your newsletter, putting us on your website, on your social, those things don't cost you anything. And I think those are really, really, really valuable ways to show somebody that you care, that you recognize the importance and the value of their work. And also that this person got to eat. They're not helping you just because they love you and they like, you know, y'all are sisters and whatever the hell. Anyway, I really appreciate that emphasis on taking care of yourself as you're pouring into somebody else. Because yes, peer supporters, and we're doing this work because we care about people, but Sean got to eat. You know, you need to support yourself, and I really appreciate all of that. As you are pouring into others and supporting folks, one question, of course, I want to circle back to that we always ask is, what's bringing you joy right now? What is lighting up your life outside of the professional things and all these accomplishments and stuff? Yes, and also your birthday too. But what else is bringing you joy? What's pouring into you right now?
There's honestly so many things that are bringing me joy. You know, I am overjoyed in a way. Like I like number one, like I said before, Dochi is bringing me a lot of joy. Like
Ooh, let's talk about it.
I am neurospicy, so I get into these obsessions. And right now, my fixation, my special interest is Dochi. I'm all over her YouTube page, reading about her, writing about her, looking at her, studying her, like seeing that Black queen do what she's doing and seeing like how she has documented her journey on YouTube. You can see it's tangible. Her story, her success is so tangible, and it almost is like breaking the fourth wall of success in a way. You get what I'm saying? You know, because she really did that. You know,
Yeah.
and so like just what was that? What were you saying?
No, just I was agreeing. I love that her showing her journey like that.
Yeah, and just seeing like Black art in general is bringing me a lot of joy. Even like seeing what you're doing with Get Some Joy is bringing me joy, and hearing about the things that are going on, and you getting your peer support certification, seeing the Black people around me have so much joy in their life. Like my friend is about to get their apartment, my other friend got a job that they really want, my other friend is traveling solo. And I'm just like, oh my God, everybody's life is really happening for a lot of people around me finally, because we all been struggling for a minute.
Oh, baby.
You already know. And so that's bringing me, honestly, it really is like just good news is bringing me joy. And the other thing is I've been playing around with the As I Am hair tints. That's why my hair is red right now. And for my birthday, they gave me like this little set. So I got green, blue, copper. I got honey, and then I got red, and I think I got purple or fuchsia or something.
Yes.
So playing around with these colors has been bringing me joy. It was so much fun.
I appreciate it. I love that. I love that. I love the color also. It looks really good on you, by the way.
Thank you.
And
It's temporary. Can you believe it? Look at the pigment. This is temporary color.
it looks really
It's gonna wash out.
rich. It's when how long ago did you do it?
I just did it like before we got on live.
I know that's right. Come on, new color for the 99 and the
Yeah.
2000. No, I think that's great. Dolce, I will add Dolce bringing me joy. Something I love in particular, I love behind the scenes. I love to see the process of behind creative things. She released a behind the scenes like a snippet, and I need to see if there are more of her Grammy performance. And it got to show like her talking about her process, her motivation. I want to see all that. I want to see the rehearsal. I want to see the auditions. I want
Yes.
to see how they chose the clothes. I want to see about the braids. I want to see
Those braids are
what
epic.
shea butter she uses. Like I want to see all of that
Yes,
stuff.
the shea
I just
butter. You know she used shea
I
butter.
just
You
love the
know.
process,
I bet
and
you
I
a
know it's
split.
popping and it smells amazing, and that she just to know that she like I know she got a I'm sure she has I imagine or wonder if she has like a choreographer or creative director that she worked with. So, but to know that like she is crafting these things, I love visionary people. I love to see
Yep.
the journey of what it took to bring the process together.
Same.
Something that's bringing me joy.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm gonna write about this separately, but trying new recipes that are I'm trying to build up my like I want to learn my Panamanian staples, you know, and
Yeah. Yeah.
so I've been trying to get in my fried rice bag, and my grandmother was like the fried rice whisperer, and so I would say though that those two things, getting good fried rice. This weekend I made a coconut curry cod and a pineapple fried rice that I really 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 enjoyed, and I want to like keep experimenting with fried rice, and I wanted to I want to add some additional things to it. Like I want to make do some with plantain, add some other meats and things to it. I also want to get back into my empanada bag with. I made some curry chicken and butternut squash empanadas that so good, so good, so good, so good.
You be
So
throwing down in the kitchen. I cannot.
that is bringing me joy right now, and I can't wait for like if we're ever well, we'll talk about this offline, but if you're coming
Yeah.
here, gotta cook for you. Because the empanada thing has been a source of joy, but also a sort of like source of creative exploration and freedom. And for
Yeah.
me, like I I was talking with someone just about like my grandmother's legacy and her story and how um, anxious I had been to do like savory empanadas recently. I've realized,
Yeah.
so I wanna tap back into that. So anyway, exploring in the kitchen, gaining my confidence with baking, with like crafting flavors with dough, making my own dough, bringing different savory flavors together. So I'm glad that you have things that are pouring into you that are bringing you joy because we need that. Times are so raggedy right
So
now, like
raggedy.
so raggedy. And there's such, I feel like every time you turn on your TV or you open your phone,
Mm-hmm.
just a wave of bad news
Yes.
and horrible things that are coming, things that people are trying to do or try to do, or it's just so scary and raggedy out here. So I'm really, really, really thankful for you and the work that you're doing and that you are making time to prioritize joy. Um, two things. One, you said you have your own peer support person
Yes.
or like situation. So I'm curious for you as someone who pours into others, supports people, what do you look for in someone who's supporting you? What kind of person is best for you?
As a peer support worker, I look for someone, honestly, who's Black. It has to be either a Black man, woman, they, them, whatever. As long as, and again, I'm getting comfortable in saying that, and I'm getting comfortable in, because I've spent a lot of time when it comes to getting my mental health needs met. I spent a lot of time settling, and I spent a lot of time, you know. You okay, boo?
Excuse me. Yes, yes.
Okay. I spent a lot of time settling, and I don't know what it is, but I've seen a trend like that. If you have like, let's say if you have state insurance or Obamacare or anything like that, or sometimes depending if you're paying out of pocket, because I've navigated the mental health system and getting a peer support worker at different types of financial statuses that I've had. And
Okay.
I've noticed that when I've had a lower financial status, I always get the intern or I get the peer support worker that just finished their certificate. And I know those people need their hours, but honey, no, I'm a different case. Like and I've learned to, like, that's the first step in finding a peer support worker for me, is just number one, breaking away from all the things that America, this world, has told me that I don't need to be okay.
Mm,
That's the first
yes,
thing.
yes, yes, yes.
Then the second thing is creating an affirmation that gets me in my Karen bag. Okay? Because what Karens do is that they demand, they expect, and they do not accept anything less, even if they in the wrong, right? So then I create an affirmation that reminds me that we do live in a new world, that I could get more needs met than my ancestors did. It's just that mental game that this world is playing with us. Let that sit in for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I want people to understand that you can get what you need. They have been lying to you. They don't want you to access the resources that are your right to access. We live in different times where we can get more things that we need. It's just a
Yeah,
fact.
I love that.
So those are the first two steps, right? And in validating myself that way and bigging myself up that way, then I feel centered and calm enough in myself to be able to be like, I need a Black peer support worker, and I'm not settling for that, and I'm not going to stop searching until I get that. So it's multiple things.
Yes,
You get what I'm saying?
yes, yes.
And so once I get there, right, it's about understanding, like, I usually want a peer support worker who has a therapist and who also identifies with complex PTSD, um,
Mm.
and a peer support worker that is doing some similar work that I'm doing on myself to maintain my groundedness, you know. And the last thing that I'm willing to work on is I always try to figure out, so how colonized is their mind? Because we, okay, okay.
Baby! Oh, baby. Ooh, are you doing the work?
I,
Okay.
Alex, I've been doing the work, the hard work right there. I've been getting to the
Mm.
roots. Okay. So that's the, and when I say I'm willing to work with that, and that it's like I'm still working on like my assessment of like because it can get irritating when you're talking to another Black person who you can tell their mind is very colonized, because like they say, they have that saying, all skin folk ain't
Sure
kinfolk.
ain't.
There's We are not a monolith. There are all types of different types of
That's
Black people.
right.
Okay, we don't all think alike. We don't feel alike. Some of us don't even. Some Black people don't even think that mental health is an issue. Okay, so I need to make sure. I need to get, once I get to that point, then that's when I'm like, okay, I can work with this a little bit, and I guess like I'm willing to work with, like, if we have to put a scale on it, like maybe a level 5 colonization, like if it's in the middle,
Right.
because I have more ability to work with that.
Yeah.
But if you're far gone, you a Trump supporter? I'm sorry. Am I not? I'm not supposed to say that, right? I'm sorry.
It's free. Who the hell cares?
I don't judge. I'm just saying we got different needs.
We have different needs. I think that's a great way to put it. That's a great way to put it. You just hit so many important things. First of all, the fact that we can get our needs met. This is something that and it's complex, but this is something that a lot of us need to really internalize,
Yeah.
and not just in terms of mental health care, but that like people, everybody didn't have a wonderful, amazing childhood.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody did not grow up in, in a fairy tale, in a Saturday morning cartoon. And also everybody did not have like loving care or know what it looks like or feels like, or et cetera, et cetera. And I'm sorry you went through that.
Mm-hmm.
And just because life kicked you down the fucking stairs does not mean that everybody has to have that experience. And I
Mm-hmm.
say that to people who are parents. I had it hard, so my child has to have it hard too, or
Mm-hmm.
I struggle, you have to struggle. We is free. Okay? You need to stop fucking oppressing yourself, your child, your future generations.
Yes.
Like, we, uh, I'm sorry you went through that. I don't have to go through that, and like, and stop doing that to your kids and whoever else. And also we do that to each other
We do.
with like, I didn't have a hard life, so you must have a hard life too. No, baby girl, I'm not built like that. Like I
Mm-hmm.
I want a soft life. I want comfort and ease and calm and be
Me too.
hydrated and moisturized and stuff. So that the fact that first of all we can get our needs met,
We
and
can.
secondly that I think it says a lot about you, the fact that you say you'll keep searching until you find that specialist, that representative that really meets your needs and speaks to your identity. That's so important. And I just want to applaud you for like just doing the work on yourself, and to feel worthy enough of that work, like to feel
Mm-hmm.
like you deserve good care that speaks to you and what you need and really addresses your concerns. Because yes, for many of us, especially if you are in a mental health system, if you are institutionalized in any way, if you are receiving public assistance, there is a feeling that you should just be happy that you even have care. You should be
Mm-hmm.
happy that you have somebody, whether they are secretly racist, openly racist, uneducated, they don't have culture curiosity, and none of those things. They think they're superior to you, talk to you like trash.
And I've
Um,
had that. I've had a therapist like that before. But yeah,
yeah,
I
and
hear
a
you.
lot of times when you're in systems, you just are supposed to you get whoever. You do not have to accept that. Like, and I think also once you're in those systems and you're getting care in different ways, um, there are more barriers, and you might have to wait longer and make a few different calls. But I just wanted to underscore the importance that you are worth it. Like, you're worth the work. It's worth it to find that therapist that really speaks to you. So I love that. And also that thirdly, how colonized is their mind? Because
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that is really real. And that's I think one thing I love about that peer support, and that you can share your experience with having overcome those things and gone through those things, and also that you know what it's like to be in a space where you receive care that's not affirming, or care that doesn't make you feel good, or that doesn't represent you, et cetera, et cetera. And also it's okay that every black person does not need or want a black therapist.
Right.
There are some people who I just want a person, and that's okay.
Right.
My
That's okay.
therapist is not black. My therapist is not black at the moment. But also, like, for those who do, that's their right to want that. And I think that just the fact that I think it's important we affirm that it's okay if you want somebody who looks like, feels like, believes the things that you believe, or at the very least, believes your right to humanity, and you don't have to. I mean, and it's not just a high level. I want somebody who is black like me, but like very basic. I don't want to have to explain aspects of my humanity.
Thank
I don't
you.
want to have to explain um, what ashy is, or what have to tiptoe around talking about racism. I've been in spaces like that where people, you're afraid to talk about some shitty racist encounter because you don't want to offend your therapist. Fuck that shit. I'm paying a lot of money or going through a lot to have this care. So I just think that it's important that people are able to express themselves and not have to censor themselves, especially in places where you're the center. Like it's for you to receive care. So anyway, I love those three things. And if people take nothing else away from this conversation, like, you can get your needs met, you're worth looking, you're worth searching until you find someone who meets your needs. And also, unfortunately, sometimes your therapist needs a few more sessions with their therapist too.
That's such a nice way to put it. The shade.
That is something that they have to look for, and because we can't do that work for them.
Yeah.
And your therapy session is not the place to be trying to educate this person.
It's
Like,
exhausting
yeah,
to do that.
yeah. And so I'm glad that I really appreciate you sharing those things. Those are really going to bless somebody in terms of uh, recognize the need for care and that you are worthy of that. So thank you for sharing those things. So one thing I do want to pivot into is a collaboration that we are working on together.
Yes, our collab.
Yeah. So you've mentioned your extensive work as a peer support superstar, peer support
Aww.
artist who's
Thank
supporting
you.
folks in your very unique and special way. And so Charm has been in our Get Some Joy community check-ins for quite a while now,
I have.
coming into our check-ins, offering lots of wisdom, always leaving gems, always taking advantage of the wonderful things that people come in and share. And so, because she's also working on your own peer support journey and branching out with your own mental health organization and helping folks in your way, we decided to collaborate because I had a vision to have
Yeah.
more community spaces available. I want there to be groups, mental health check-ins, peer support spaces, safe spaces available on any given day, so that someone can, whenever they're going through it, just stroll onto Janet Jackson's internet and find somebody to talk to.
Yup.
Find a group of people in a room who are looking to connect and support you. So, Charmaine GetSomeJoy are collaborating on our very first peer support group,
Yeah.
which is going to be launching at the top of March.
Yes.
Peer support group, kind of modeling the format of our peer support spaces, our mental health check-ins. Very
Yeah.
casual, low stakes, not like a therapy session. It's not a workshop. It's peer
Yeah.
support. And so really what that means is that folks will have spaces on Sundays in the evenings at 6:30 p.m. EST. That's our first group. And basically, this will be a casual space for folks to be able to come in, receive support, check in, share about what they're going through, talk about maybe one big topic of the day, but leave with resources, leave with new connections, leave with people that you can collaborate with, connect with, talk to, some strategies, etc. So I'm really excited about it and what it has, the potential to do for folks. But I want to hear from you. Why is this space important to you? What can people look forward to when they step into a space with Charm?
Okay. This is, oh my goodness. I am so excited. This is divine timing, I believe, that things were culminating to this point. This space is important to me for so many different reasons. Number one, get some joy, like, oh, and don't cry, Charm. I'm a big crybaby too. Okay. I'm the biggest. And I believe that tears are release. I'm also working around that programming of like, if I cry, I'm weak. I'm not weak. I'm strong. Okay. But it's like I've been going to those things for like I think close to 6 to 8 years. I know it's been a while that I've been going, And I know for sure that in 2021, and then also like around, you had started 2019, I think. But anyway, that doesn't matter. The point is that I've been going for a while, and I believe in giving back. You know, Get Some Joy, and just getting to know you and Anisha, and hearing y'all's story and how much was poured into creating this. It inspires me to want to do the same thing. I'm like, I want to be involved too. I want to be with the cool kids. You know? So that's really what it is. It's like, it's number one. It's, y'all, every time that I have gone into those mental health check-ins, like I've always come out feeling like better. I felt like seen, you know, affirmed, just validated, and to just be around people whose stories I know, and they are choosing to do good in this world. They are choosing to heal when it could be so easy to choose to be a mean, ugly person with a chip on your shoulder. And when I integrated that, I was like, I gotta be a part of this. Like, I just, you know, like, I believe in you. I believe in this. I believe in my creator that tells me and moves me to the things that I'm supposed to be a part of. So, yeah, so that's that's part of it.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah. I'm trying to hold it together. um, yeah, yeah. So that would be the first reason, right? And then the second reason would be, I know that I've been called to this work. Like I know I'm supposed to be a peer support worker. I know I'm supposed to be of service. And I had to go, there was a moment where I wasn't doing peer support work, you know, where I was doing it in a way where I wasn't as seen, or I was doubting my journey. Like at one point, this account, when I first started peer support work, it had more of a following, but I did some self-sabotage, and I literally removed every single follower, did all these different things. I got written into articles in the beginning of my peer support journey. And when things like that happen, it's confirmation that this is what you're supposed to do.
That's right.
I got scared. I got scared, and I hid, and I removed everyone. And I was like, I don't want to do this. You know what I mean? But I feel like this is where we get a little bit spiritual. And I hope that this message is received. But I do pray, and I ask for guidance. And I made a commitment to service in the privacy of my own home, with my own rituals and stuff like that. I made a deal, and I said, I am committing to service. Now make it poppin', though. Make it lit. Make it look cute. That was the only thing.
Right.
I was like,
right.
And so this is me stepping up to the plate and contributing during a time where shit is about to go down. It's about to go down. Okay? And there are so many people in need. There are so many pockets of unmet needs, you know? And in saying all that, I'm basically saying that the time is now. I have gone through my journey. I have gone through the breakdown for the breakthrough. I have done my prayer. I have done my internal work. I have gotten the certificates. I have done this. I have done that. I have stepped up to the plate and stood in my power and said, I am ready to serve. And that's just what it is. I'm ready. And so I know that I'm supposed to do this and help people heal and get through it. And that's why I'm here. And I really, the last part would be that, unfortunately, in my research, maybe I didn't go deep enough, but I'm a pretty good researcher. I have not found one organization that dedicates their mission to Black women and femmes. I have not. And what did Malcolm X say? Malcolm X said that we're most disrespected, unprotected, and it's true. So in any good fashion, in order to get something done, who do you call? A Black woman. So at the end of the day, and I'm putting this out there, my goal in whatever this organization or this partnership comes out is that there is a space that is created that lives for Black women and femmes, and that people finally recognize how much we need, how much we've contributed, and how we are on equal playing fields when it comes to needing to be poured into, and that our mental health matters too. Y'all gonna start respecting us and holding us with a little bit more care. Okay? Right. So this is a love letter to my people. This is also a love letter to me because I'm a Black woman. So I'm showing up for myself through saying that now I am serving this population, and I'm not going to quit until I've established a program or an org that is going to live on. I know I got passion. I felt spirit. I'm sorry. I got real.
It's fine.
Woo!
I love it. I love it. That's beautiful. And so what can someone, Black woman, femme, or otherwise, what can they expect when they come into this? What can they leave with? Or, how can it pour into their spirit? Why should they come?
You should come because this is going to be a special space on the internet where you can expect warmth, validation, affirmation, and a place where you will really feel that you can be yourself. And you will always leave with your cup full. And that's the beautiful part. And I can speak from experience that no matter how I showed up, I left with something. And that's the beautiful part of Get Some Joy in the mental health check-ins. Because in my observation, everybody always leaves with something. And that's a big deal. And it's something that is like, that is of value, but is also like you can actually apply it. Sometimes we get resources and we be like, what am I gonna do with this? You know what I mean? Or it be a resource that's convoluted, or it's a resource that's not laid back. Like sometimes Get Some Joy just gives you a good playlist and you'd be like, this is what I needed. You know?
Yeah.
So just that's what I love, and I can't, like, as time goes on, I hope to get like better vocabulary and words to like make it more concise and to like that's what you're getting. But that's what you're getting, y'all. Your cup is always, even if we don't fill it all the way, we're gonna put a little bit up in there. Okay, like when AAA comes around and give you a little bit of gas so you can get where you need to go, like
that's right, just enough.
So that's what you can expect. That's what you're gonna get, and why you should come.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. So yes, please come check out Charm's peer support group. Again, our first edition is going to be Sunday, March 2nd at 6:30 p.m. EST on Zoom. There'll be a link on GetSomeJoy.com, but it's going to be registered through Eventbrite. And basically, we just want to offer a space for folks to come in, like you said, be affirmed, be accepted, come, ashy knuckles and everything. Like, come on in. Come on in. If your jerry curl is dry, just come on in. We'll help moisturize your spirit, do whatever it takes. And honestly, like you said, just like to leave with a little bit of something.
Yes.
We always want to make sure that folks leave with resources, a book to read, a show to watch, a meal to try, a website to go to, a community to tap into. And so the other thing I appreciate is that you don't have to perform. You don't have to earn care. I just want to offer that again. You don't have to earn care. You don't have to earn acceptance or any of those things. You can just show up as is. There are folks who come to these check-ins. They never say anything, but I agree that they probably leave with something. And so that's all. We just wanted to create a super chill space. And as we get this going, I would love to extend the same invitation to other peer support specialists, other peer support workers who would like to collaborate to create spaces where folks can come and check in. We do ours typically on Wednesdays, but here we are on a Sunday. Charm's going to be checking in with folks on Sunday evenings. If you have another weekday that could work for you, whether bi-weekly or monthly, that you would like to offer a space for folks to check in, we would love to have you, love to work with you, collaborate on best practices, how we can ensure safety, and make it poppin' and consistent so that everybody has a similar experience when they come into our spaces. So I'm really excited about it. Not only am I thrilled to be working with you, but I love the idea of having more things available that I don't have to host. And so I just love that. And just sharing the magic. Everybody has something to offer. I think everybody has something everybody can speak to people in a very unique and special way. And so I want to be a container for all of that awesomeness. And so I'm thankful for you, Charm, for everything that you have to offer and for just being willing to share that because like you said, people can be it's a choice to pour into this world. Like it's
Yeah.
a choice to be a light in this world. It's a choice and everybody doesn't make that choice and everybody doesn't have it. People go through things, traumas, reacting to this world. People retreat inward.
Yeah.
People can become stingy with their magic, their time, their energy, their resources and everything. And that's okay, honestly, because life is raggedy. And
Yeah.
so I just applaud and I want to, support and affirm folks who choose to go through this world, to go through things, to heal, to recover, and then want to pay it forward. What?
Yes.
You get the big piece of chicken. What are you talking about? Like, you deserve everything, okay?
I love the big chicken.
I
That was
just,
for daddy though.
we
So
appreciate you. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. So, um, as we come to a close with this check-in, Charm, I'm curious for you. Is there anything, what's been helping you cope, thrive, and find joy? Resource, tool, mantra, process, ritual, community. Is there anything that has been helping you continue to
you
pour
said
into
to
the world?
find joy, or what was it? The two
Yeah, to
things.
cope or thrive, that's helping you be okay or helping you, find joy. What's been supporting you lately?
So lately, I there has been an increase of stress because I'm in the middle of a move actually. And we know moving is stressful, but I have resources, so that's good, right? Um, so I basically been just putting my music up really loud in the living room and just like screaming and dancing. Like that's just what I've been doing.
Yes,
I put it up and I'm just like, this is how I'm coping. I'm getting, and I feel really good afterwards. I'd be out of breath though, but
that's what matters. You danced it out.
just dance it out. I've been watching like a lot of different like concerts. Music is such a great distraction for me. And I didn't know that. So I suggest that to anybody else. Like I've noticed that like if I just look at a bunch of like concerts back to back, short ones like 13 or 10-minute clips, that helps me and I kind of get lost in it. And it's a good distraction. Um, and I just don't got to think about the thing because what's going on with me is that I have anxiety, even though it looks like everything is going to work out. It's still kind of like, and so like I got to
Yeah.
distract myself. Um, so I've been doing that. And you said tools to find joy, or what'd you say?
Yeah, I mean, no, that's
Yeah.
perfect. I mean, if there, I
Okay.
was just curious if there anything, it could be something formal, but no, that's perfect. Turning up the music and just dancing it out, that is great. And I feel like you can at once tap into music that brings you joy, but especially if that's like an amazing, brilliant black person,
Yeah.
that's just like bringing that light. Two things, Dochi's Tiny Desk has been. And
Popping. Yes.
also, she had a performance that I want to say the festival is called Flognaw, I want to say. I think it's like Tyler the Creator's
I
festival.
seen that. I seen that she was up there. Yeah.
She has a set. I think if first does her most of her mixtape. Brilliant, great performer, amazing breath control. She's just so great to see. So Doechii, Doechii is a great source of joy. She's been bringing me joy as well. Something that has been supporting me
Yes.
lately is going to the gym with my friend Andrew. Um,
Ooh.
he lives nearby. We'll like try to go at least once or twice a week. Early in the morning, I'm becoming a morning person, like
Okay.
just to get the day going. We typically go at like 8 or 8:30, and I get to like come back and have crossed something off. For me, like that of like crossing something off the list, big, big, big deal for me. And so it helps me get up and attack the day in a different
Yes.
way than just kind of being chill. So that's one thing. Going to the gym, it gets me out, but also the accountability of it and like having that person there. The other thing that I will recommend, I mean, and I do this, and I always make this offer, and actually might incorporate this into a Get Some Joy space to make these available for people. Body doubling, co-working with
Oh
people, um, and
yeah.
so I don't know. I don't have a diagnosis, but I got little neural things happening. But
Okay.
because of the way that my brain works, it is so helpful to have company, even
Yes.
if we are virtual, even if we are both working on different things. So for me, that looks like um, hey friend, I have some emails I want to send, but I can't fucking focus. And
Yeah.
so what we're gonna do is we're gonna check in, we're gonna chat real casually for 3 to 5 to 10 minutes, and then one of us is gonna be like, okay, so what's your goal? What are you working on? And
Yeah.
then we will list a number of things. I would say no more than 1 to 3 things. Don't put 5 things on your list. Don't put 15 things. Don't put 20 things on your list. Put 1 thing or 2 things or 3 things. Very manageable. And so we'll say, okay, how long do you want to go? And then we will say, typically we do Pomodoro sprints, me and most of us. We'll do a 25-minute sprint with a short break. Or if we're really in the groove, we'll do like 55, 57 minutes, something like that,
Yeah.
with a longer break. But quick break, or a quick sprint with a check-in with that clear follow-up at the end, checking in throughout. Hey, how'd it go? And also giving yourself grace for like those first few sprints. Sometimes the mind just be all over the place and the internet calls
That will happen.
and that's okay. And honestly, like we give ourselves grace for that. So I do them a few times a week, sometimes in the morning, sometimes in the evening. But I think if you can just have the understanding with folks that, hey, my mind wanders. It can help to do things in concert with other people. You bring your task, I'll bring mine. We will set some clear goals at the beginning, check in at the end. Me, personally, it helps me work through so much more than I would if I were trying to do this by myself because I live and work in my same space.
Mm-hmm.
So like I don't have like an office where I can kind of move. Everything happens in the same space. And so I have to create some kind of dynamics and other things to help me work through that. So as I'm doing that, one thing that has been helping me also is jazz playlists. Jazz, or lately I have, and actually I'll make this a post too. I found this like bossa in the background playlist on
Ooh,
Spotify,
I want to get into
and it's
that.
just quiet, easy bossa nova music or bossa nova adjacent music that I can put on when I'm focusing or when I want to work or when I want to do X, Y, Z. And hold on,
Okay, holding.
I
Hey, y'all on
had, I
TikTok.
had to get a timer, a physical timer
Oh,
that you can
yes. And
you
does
can
it change
actually
color?
it
I've been
yeah
looking at one.
you can see how long you got left. This really allows me to focus on a task or a
Okay.
few tasks, and my mind wanders too, but like it's just different than like when I put my phone down and then the light goes off and now the timer's gone.
Right.
But this is right in front of me on the desk. I can actually see it, and it makes a chime that's not too annoying when it's over. So I highly recommend getting something where you can physically see, or even if it's digital, just the fact that you can see the time counting down,
Mm-hmm.
and it kind of gives you that push. So this goes up to an hour. And so those are 2 things that have been helping me. Working with folks, body leveling, and an actual timer.
That's good. Oh, you just reminded me. I did download, because I was trying to do the same thing. I've been working on figuring that out because I don't know how to manage time sometimes. But then other times I get so much done. So I don't know. But I downloaded, I was trying to do the same thing, and I downloaded this app, and I found that it just says clock or iClock or something like that. And I found that if I put it in 24 hours, like military
Mm-hmm.
time, and I put it that it's counting backwards, weirdly that helps me. Like I
That's
discovered
good.
that, and I'm like, what? I like, it was just by happenstance. I just tried
Yeah,
something,
yeah.
and that's been helping me, seeing it count down in military time. So yeah.
That's helpful. Yeah, I think we should all, I mean, just trial and error, trying to find things that work. You know, I try to work with like have any music when I'm playing, but I now know that if there's lyrics in a song, now I'm singing and now I'm not working. Now
Yeah.
I'm lost now I'm up dancing again. And like that's not productive. So I have to have my music needs to have no lyrics. And
Yeah.
that is how I'm able to focus. So I think find whatever works for you, and also don't apologize for like if you can't snap into the way other people's normal or typical or whatever brains work. If you need something a little bit different, that's okay. Like if you need to work in short bursts to be effective, do that. If you need silence, do that. If you need music, if you need, I mean, whatever it is, light a candle. And so those have been some of the things that have just trying to find systems that work for me, as opposed to like getting mad at myself because I can't do normal stuff.
Yeah.
Just find the things that work for you. And
That's great. Shout out to you.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate those things. I'm just trying to think of anything else that's been supporting me. But no, dance parties, turning on music, um, lean into those things. For folks who are watching this afterwards, feel free to comment and let us know what are some things that are bringing you joy or some things that are helping you cope, thrive, or find joy in these raggedy moments in history.
Mm-hmm.
I want to thank you, Charm, for being here, for making time, for offering just these great gems. I'm going to pull these out in a recap. Could you please share with folks where they can find more about what you got going on?
Yeah. Okay. So you can find me on Convos with Charm, and that's on Instagram. And you can find me on TikTok. I've been a little bit more active on the TikToks, and and then Convos with Charm on the Twitter too. I restarted my Twitter account, but I'm there. I don't have Facebook, but the website is coming soon. I don't know when it's going to launch, but you should be able to find me by my website as well. But yeah, those
Awesome.
are the ways.
Thank you.
Oh wait, and I just started a Substack. How could I forget? I have a Substack. So you can find me on Substack. There's so many things going on, y'all. Substack Comms with a Charm. I do that once a week, and I put free resources on there, like little write-ups. It's basically the same thing that I'm doing here with Alex, just in written form. And then YouTube Convos, everything Convos with Charm. So yeah.
Yay for brand consistency.
Already know.
Shout out to you, Charm. Thank you for coming through. Hit up Convos with Charm anywhere across Janet Jackson's internet where you do your
Yes.
searching and wellness things. Um, Again, look out for our peer support group with Get Some Joy launching Sunday, March 2nd at 6:30 EST. That link will be on GetSomeJoy.com. Here on the Instas and the YouTubes, we'll make sure it's available for everyone to find. And if you are interested in collaborating on a special group or a separate group on a different day, we're open to do that. If your community, your organization, your workplace, your school is in need of mental health support, Get Some Joy can absolutely support you with either mental health check-ins, mental health first aid trainings, adult or youth mental health first aid trainings, or Spanish or higher education. We do all of those things. We can also support with grief and loss programming in terms of a writing situation to help process, or a grief and loss support group, and reach out to us for information on that. And we look forward to sharing more about what we're up to. Thank you all for your time and for joining us. Be sure to do something that brings you joy today, to make sure you hydrate, moisturize, eat something good. Don't forget, the little in between the knuckles, the little pesky places, right? Whether it's Queen Helene or whatever it is that you're using, use something that pours into your spirit, moisturizes your skin and your soul. This has been a Get Some Joy mental health check-in. My name is Alex Hardy. We'll see you soon.
Yeah. Bye, y'all.
Holla. Good night, everyone.
Night, night.